Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Jazz back here with his third ever video on the channel. Yes sir. So today, with everything that's happening on Earth, I don't feel comfortable going outside and risking my health and my safety. So I've decided to make a stock market video today. So basically, a little bit of background. One of my friends actually was into trading, and he traded crypto, he traded stocks. He would talk to me about what he was doing and what he was learning, and basically that got me really interested. But when I first looked into it, I wasn't very curious, and I didn't really have like the mindset to make money at the time. I just wanted to have fun. So around the summer of last year, or the summer of 2019, I really started to like look into stocks, and I started to watch people that I personally found helpful. And then I started doing my own research. I started figuring out like how to trade, what was the best platforms to trade on. And then I started just basically like doing my own due diligence on the subject, and figuring out my way of trading. Just because somebody trades one way doesn't mean that you should trade their way, because their way is built for them. You have to build your own way. We're all unique and different people. We all have different learning tactics. So today I'm gonna show you guys my way of trading.
Bruh. Look at this dude. Wait till you see the... No.
So I'm up over a little bit over $800 on the first 2 days of this week. I'm filming this on Wednesday. Monday and Tuesday were really great days for me. I'll put pictures here. Yeah, as you guys can see, Monday I made a little bit over $500, and Tuesday I made a little bit over $300. I posted on social media, and a bunch of people responded to me asking how I invest and what I use to invest. So I decided I'd make a video on it today and show you guys how I invest. I use TD Ameritrade, Thinkorswim. I did not start off on this. I started off on Robinhood because it's a lot simpler. Once I discovered what was really important in stocks, Thinkorswim actually allows me to have TD Ameritrade allowed me to find the best stocks to invest in and to figure out the best timing to invest in because of all the tools and opportunities that were provided on here rather than Robin. So I guess let's just jump straight into the video, and I'll show you guys how my Thinkorswim is set up. Starting over here on the left with account info. I personally do not even like to open this folder until the end of the day. If I see that I'm gaining money, I tend to just immediately sell out, when most of the time, if you're already in a run and you're gaining a lot of money very fast, it tends to keep going through like the next couple of days. So I tend to sell out during the first day, when I could have held it for an extra day or an extra 2 days and made 3 times as much as I made. And the next reason I tend to not open that folder until the end of the day is because if I'm losing money, I tend to just sell out very fast, when if I waited an extra hour or two, I could be gaining money. Right here we have the live news. So on certain companies, I use live news. If I'm watching a company for that day, I'll just pull it up, let the live news run. If there's good news that comes out, I'll invest. If bad news comes out, I usually just leave it alone and go on to my next stock. Right under the live news, we have all of my watch lists. So I have stuff that has been hit very hard with everything that's going on in the world right now. So we got some airline stocks, we got some pharmaceutical stocks, cruise lines, gold, some groceries, and some more pharmaceuticals. Then we got every day of the week, so that's stuff I'll be watching on that specific day of like whatever week I'm in. And then we have year long, which is stuff I plan to watch throughout the entire year. And this is also like my inverses, like DGAS and UGAS tend to go off of natural gas, off of the natural gas market, which is right here. If natural gas goes up, UGAS goes up. If natural gas goes down, DGAS goes down. Then we also have Lab D and Lab U, which is like biotechs. So if the entire technology market is like skyrocketing upwards, then Lab U will go up. But if the entire like technology market is going down, then Lab D will go up. Then we have TQs and SQs, which is like the overall market. So if the overall market is doing great, TQs will go up. If the overall market is doing bad, SQs will go up. And so we just have a bunch of stuff like that. Right here I have the SPY, which is like the S&P 500, and then /NQ, which is like the NASDAQ futures. Allow me to plan my entries and exits into stocks that usually tend to follow the overall market. Then when we get to the graph, I have the SMA, I have the SMA, the EMA, and then MACD and RSI. So my SMA is set at 180, which will show like the average price over 180 days, and it kind of acts as a resistance. And then my EMA, which is the moving average exponential, is just set normal 90. My EMA has no special setup, and the SMA is more of like if I tend to swing trade something for a long time, I would use the SMA to kind of judge where I want to get in and where I want to exit. The EMA allows me to see quick turnarounds. So if I were to go to stock and see this blue line is the EMA. So if I see a break above the EMA, I know that this will run up for, if it breaks above that resistance line, it's going to run up a little bit before coming back down. But see, like right here kind of ran up after it broke it, ran up, and then when it touched it and then went through, that's an indicator to sell off. Back to my different studies, I have the MACD and the RSI. This is the MACD. It shows volume and like it shows good entry points. So I've switched the colors of my lines. So usually the gold line you see for me would be the default blue line, and the blue line would be the default gold line. And I like to do that because I think of it as when gold crosses over water, that means you're making money. And that means the gold is like, you can see the gold, so you can just reach it and pick it up. And then when that gold sinks back underwater, that is a good indication to sell it and just let it go. So look right here, when the gold crossed over the water and it was out of the water, see how this stock ran up? But then as soon as that gold crossed back underwater, as soon as that gold started sinking, the whole stock just started sinking. So that's how I tend to look at it. I mean, I don't know, that's just me, that's just how I learn. Then we have the RSI, which shows you overbought and undervalued. So if it's overvalued, it'll be up here in the red. If it's undervalued, it'd be down here in the blue. Most stocks that I look at, I tend to want them when it's blue. Most people think like, oh, if it's in the red, that means it's got a lot of hype around it. So I'm gonna invest. No, I tend to get it when it's in the blue, because look, every time a stock hits blue, it always comes back up. And that's for any stock. Look, take AMD. So it hit blue, it will always eventually hit red again. It hits blue, it will always eventually hit red. It hits blue, always hits red. But you don't want to have it in the red and then be like, oh, I'm making money, I'm making a little bit of money, and then it'll hit the blue and then you'll be losing so much. You have to hold it twice as long to get back to another blue point, or back to the red again. So I just buy in the blue, sell in the red. Next thing I want to talk about is how I actually trade. I don't actually trade stocks, I trade options, which as you guys can see, I really didn't do much today. Just ignore this $4 loss. It was really pointless, and I've been holding this for a minute. I really don't know why I'm still in it, but okay. But I tend to trade options, which is, an option is when it allows you to buy 100 shares of a company for a discounted price. So if you go back to AMD, you hit this little trade button up here. This will bring up the option chain. And then the option chain is, so say you wanted to get 100 shares of AMD for a very cheap discounted price. So you can click on this October 16th 2020 expiration date. All these highlighted blue, I only trade calls. I don't like to trade puts because I do not have enough money for puts, because puts actually take a lot more money to trade with. But I trade calls, and so everything in the blue is in the money calls. So if you buy an in the money call, if it goes up, you're gonna make money, but it tends to not gain as much as if you were to buy an out of money call and then you let it fall into money. So say I buy this 62.5 strike call for 315. If I buy that and it shoots past 62.5, I will make a lot more money than if I were to buy it at 50. If I were to buy this 50 one and then wait for it to push up, because I would be putting in a lot less and my gains would be a lot higher, and my losses would be a lot less, because if I buy this 52.5 call and it shoots down, I could lose so much more money. The thing you have to be careful about is if you have an out of the money call and it gets closer to expiration date and it's still not in the money, you will actually start, like, the contract will start to depreciate in value, and that is because of Theta. Theta is basically like time decay. So if you hold it until the expiration date and it doesn't expire in the money, you will lose everything. But if you hold it till expiration date and it expires in the money, if it expires in this little light blue section, you will gain all the money plus the money you initially put into. For me, I don't really care about Theta. I only care about Delta. So let's say you look at this 95 call, right? So I would put, see, it says 28 cents, but that really means $28 because it's 28 times 100. So I would only put $28 into AMD and I would get 100 shares of it. And then for every dollar it went up, Theta would show you the price change. So for every dollar AMD went up, I would get 4 cents on every share, or $4. The closer this 95 call gets to being in this light blue section, the higher the Theta will go. So right now it's only at 4, but if this shot all the way up to 80, this Theta might be up here in like 45, 51 range. That's how I like to trade stocks. I tend to watch Ricky Gutierrez and the Trading Fraternity. I will link both of their channels in the description. They've helped me through a lot, and they've helped me learn so much about like this community of stock trading. And I tend to find options trading the best way to trade if you have a very limited amount of money. I started with around $300, and just in this 1 week I made $800. I've been trading for I've been seriously trading for about 2 months. I've been learning about trading for about a year now. So option trading is, I think, the best way to trade if you don't have a lot of money in your account. This is the best strategy I have personally found to trade with. And so I hope this helps you guys out, and I hope you're allowed to make some money while sitting around at home quarantining. Let me know if you want another video like this. I'm thinking about starting a series, maybe where I do like a road to $10,000 instead of the 10,000 subs. And then it'll just be like 2 playlists. Like there'll be a playlist for 10,000 subscribers, and then there'll be a playlist for the road to $10,000. So I'm thinking about maybe doing that, and maybe like I'll update you guys. Like I'll post those on Saturdays. So I'll do it until I get to 10,000, and we'll see how long that takes me. We'll see which one I can hit first, $10,000 or 10,000 subs. If you guys would be interested in something like that, let me know. Leave a comment down below saying yes, we'd love to see that series. If so, I'd be totally down. So I probably just would use whatever I have in this account currently, which I think is only like, I think is a little bit over $1,000 if we look. Yeah, I have a little bit over $1,000 in this account. So I might just take what's in this account and then just start a road to $10,000. So if you guys would be interested in something like that, let me know down below in the comments, like I said. Other than that, leave a like, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you learned something new in this YouTube video, because I'm a beginner trader just like a bunch of you guys watching, and I'm still learning. So I just want to be able to give back to you guys from everything I've learned and try to simplify things down, because when I was learning, a lot of people didn't have very simple videos to watch. It was all very technical. The terminology was very different than what I'm used to. So I hope I kind of dumbed it down for you guys in a sense and made it easier to understand. Other than that, leave a like, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed. And until next time, make sure to spread your boy around and share my videos and go watch my other videos. I want to break 100 subscribers very soon. Road to 10,000 subscribers, of course, is in a different playlist. But this might be the first episode of Mini to Road to $10,000. You guys still gotta let me know in the comments. Alright, till next time, peace.